My friends, welcome. Today I'm sitting in my recliner chair with one of my best friends, Bandit. I have my coffee here, and I'm sitting in the dark. Now it's not really dark, it's morning, and we have daylight coming in. But the reason for this is we have a planned power outage today that was supposed to be from between 7:30 to 1:30 approximately, and it didn't even go off until 8:50. They didn't even show up till about 8:15. I don't know the reason for it, but it seems like a good time to sit down and record this. I don't need internet to record. My battery's charged. Just recording to my machine, and I have everything pulled up here to read you the latest blog post. But I do have a hunch as to what could be going on, and that's not the point of today, but here at Beauty Unfiltered, or maybe you don't know, we're going to be talking about everything and anything. So I'll give you my story. So back in August, at the beginning of the month, I want to say it was a Tuesday. Yes, it was a Tuesday. And between 9 and 10 a.m., I was walking the dog. We were coming back up the front steps, and that's when I heard this loud, very long, drawn out, like cracking, sliding sound. And just imagine in my mind, I'm visualizing it as like somebody's garage is imploding. But I know what the sound is. It's a tree falling down. And when I come in the front door, the power is out. So I live on a dead end, and there's basically nothing here but the big hospital extended parking lot and a ton of trees and power lines. So they came out and fixed that. It took several hours. About a month later, around the same day of the month, it was later in the day, I was on a video call. I do work from home, so this always messes me up, when this happens. And I'm in the house. I hear another crash. The lights go out for several hours. I go out on the front porch. Other people are on their front porch, and I hear the one lady say, "Another day in paradise," and go back and close the door. So I'm wondering if maybe they did some sort of temporary fix and they're going to do a better fix on that work today, or maybe some tree cutting or some combination. So we're just going to sit here and do the podcast and relax. So today's topic is the third and final big Wet n Wild collection release. We are at the end of the marathon. We've reached the finish line of going through all of these products. And it's been very fun, of course, and I do enjoy using these items again, even after I'm done writing the content. And today, we're going to talk about the My Melody Kuromi collection. Reviews, swatches, the looks, all the stuff. A very pink and purple theme. So as always, I'm going to read this blog post to you, and I will interject any color commentary or insights. So here we go. Wet n Wild My Melody Kuromi collection at a glance. This is a limited edition collection. It contains 30 products, maybe 31, which we'll talk about. That comes in at over $300. They have released product types that do not exist in their permanent line. This collection plays with soft feminine pink and purple tones that pay homage to the best of K-beauty. When I'm reading these blog posts, I have really been enjoying sharing with you all the different feedback and comments that I get from real people on Reddit, but I haven't posted this to Reddit. Usually I do that before I record, but it doesn't matter. I can go in either order, but I'll probably do that today, sitting here in the dark with my battery power. So I won't be interjecting just with different things that people have told me in their insights. So I'm sorry. I have the full Wet n Wild My Melody Kuromi collection, round 2. I will help you in deciding what to buy with my detailed reviews, including swatches, star ratings, and 2 makeup looks. As always, I have tested everything. Details. This collection has no real release date. Insert eye roll here. That is always the case with this brand anymore. Unlike other beauty brands that I'm not going to mention today that will write in an Instagram caption, every retailer, every date, all the skinny. When it comes to where to buy, Walmart is the only option for the full collection. The displays popped up in stores in September without warning from the brand, which is all too common anymore. The products are also in stock on Walmart's website. So out of the 30, possibly 31 SKUs, Ulta only got a measly 6 items online. They pretty much only do Wet n Wild as an online exclusive. I believe it's very rare that you're able to find any of those collections or any Wet n Wild in store. Amazon has more than Ulta, but they still don't have everything. And this is where the mystery 31 SKU comes in, plus an eyeliner set that is not available anywhere else. I am retaining hope that as time goes by, the availability will increase. So I do want to throw in here, when I give a count of items, I am counting like how many packages, how many SKUs there are, like barcodes. I'm not counting, say, the brush set, each one has 5 items. The eyelash, curler, and mascara is 2 items. There's well over 30 individual items. I just give the overall SKUs. I find that resonates the most with people, especially when you're a collector. You're somebody like me that is going out and buying all the items. Especially when I'm in store, I want to be able to count and say, okay, based on this count, I have everything, and not get too nitty-gritty in the details, as it is very easy to accidentally buy 2 of something or skip something. I've done it all in the past 2 years, so I always go by that count. This is Wet n Wild's second My Melody Kuromi collection, with the first one being smaller in 2020. It has come back around to celebrate the 20th and the 50th anniversary of the Sanrio characters. The items in this collection have a sweet berry taste and scent. Now let's talk about that for just a moment. This is the second time this year where Wet n Wild has repeated a collection they did around the 2020-2021 time. And they make this collection so much bigger and better, but they never acknowledged the fact that they had the previous. And I don't see why not. I think that's good marketing to be like, we're back again. If you love the other one, just wait till you see this one. I just don't see the reason of acting like your previous work doesn't exist. And with that being said, a lot of collections, not just the Wet n Wild, but with other brands around that time frame, were more smaller and more collected, like 2 lippies, 2 eyeshadow palettes, a makeup bag. That's just how makeup was. It wasn't until that was actually more so the breaking point. You had brands like ColourPop coming on the scene and so on and so forth. And that's where they brought in the concept of fast fashion, but make it makeup, where they're using their labs and their resources to pump things out, constant releases, constant people talking about you in a flow of money. And that's where other makeup brands saw, okay, this is working for them. We need, a more regular pattern of releasing items, and we need bigger collections. It's working, it's selling, and that's why now we come in and Wet n Wild's like, 30 SKUs, 50 SKUs, and I can remember back when their collections were smaller and they would do a PR box. And by the way, there's no PR box for this collection yet. I wouldn't be surprised if a month from now it pops up, because they can't release anything together. It could save their lives, I guess. But whenever they had a collection that was of a more attainable size, they would put the whole collection in a PR box, and you'd pay, like $75. And once they did the explosion of big collections, they went to only getting a small chunk of items. And from my observation, it's because they're trying to keep the price of that PR box somewhere around like $75 to $80. Because these full collections, especially when they are licensed, so they're going to be more expensive, well over $300, $400. I guess they're thinking no consumer is going to buy that. I would. I know several people through blogging in my audience that want the full collection every time, and it would be so convenient to hit a couple of buttons to put the box in your cart and buy it and know that you have it, and that you don't have to worry about accidentally not buying something or buying multiples. Like I said, it happens when you're buying at this scale. I would be willing to put that money down. So maybe just some options, like a more limited number of the whole thing, and maybe some of those smaller options for other people. I don't know. I'm going off on a whole tangent, but if you want to see the original collection, and I'm just going to go on another tangent. I mean, we have the time today, right? You're here, you're listening. With a lot of the older collections, and just when you think about my blog in general, with time going by, makeup does get discontinued, or it's limited edition, it has sold, whatever. I don't keep those articles. I do draft them, and they're behind the scenes. So what's on the front end is stuff that's going to be more relevant for you, but I still have access to the old stuff. I'm not deleting my work. So in my blog post, I have inserted a drop down, and if you expand it, you'll be able to see the original blog post. I guess just for nostalgia, or if you want to compare, it is there for you. Or otherwise, it's closed and it won't be in your way. So do enjoy. I think I ought to do that with SpongeBob as well, because those other items, again, they're gone. But one day, that's a big project when I draft and move things around. Now let's continue with the blog post, and we're going to start with the glitter gel. These glitter gels are the same formula that Wet n Wild always uses. When they first introduced them many years ago, I don't remember the exact year right now, they came in a pot and there was no inner lid, and that made them dry out really fast. And they realized that, so they changed it to a squeeze tube, and that was perfect. They last for years. Now they've gone back to a pot. It's actually bigger than the original pot, holds more product, but there's an inner lid. So please keep that inner lid, and hopefully they don't dry out. And the claims, the directions don't say that, so keep that lid. But I have always loved their glitter gels. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think they're so much fun. They make me think of body glitter, but for adults. I'm literally visualizing. I'm going to throw you back. You know you had this. When I was a kid, from Bath & Body Works, somebody gifted me the body glitter, the roll-on body glitter, and like I want to say it was a whole set, like a lotion, a body wash, and it was called Art Stuff, and it was pink, and it's probably like fruity scented. Man, I wish I had that body glitter. I feel like everything comes back around and it's cool. But anyway, this formula is really easy to apply, and then it dries down, and it lasts all day. And a pro tip from me, if you're, doing some kind of creative with it, you got a lot of it on your face, your makeup remover is going to push it around. A lot of it will wash off, but you'll still have chunks of it. What I do before I get my makeup remover is I get just some clear tape, like Scotch tape, and I just press it, use pressing motions. I'll take a lot of that glitter off before I even remove my makeup. It works very well. But I enjoy using this product in so many ways. So for here, this time around with this collection and the previous with Fantasy Makers, I was doing it like glitter freckles across the upper cheeks and across my nose. I love that. I like putting it around the eye area, like building it up on the brow bone and then underneath the outer corner, like accents. Or just, be simple with it. Just pat some on right on your upper cheekbones over your highlighter for an extra pop. So you can apply this product with your fingers. I do that. Sometimes I just put like a flat brush, like a flat concealer, flat eyeshadow brush. And it all works. The claims: this gel is ultra concentrated to coat your skin in a high impact, multi-dimensional shine. It should dry quickly and stay put. It can be layered up to be subtle or bold. And I gave it 5 stars. 5 out of 5. And there's 2 shades of these. And that's going to pretty much be the deal for this entire collection. I don't feel the need to really keep saying 2 shades, because obviously they're doing a pink shade for My Melody and then a purple shade for Kuromi. So just keep that in mind. But next is the glitter mascara and lash curler sets. And this is their standard eyelash curler that they have in the permanent line. They just make it a different color for the collection, so I have like a million of these. But it is my favorite eyelash curler. It's the only one that I own. I use it every day. It really does grab all of your lashes. It doesn't hurt. It's pain-free. There's no pinching or tugging. And I was editing back my my videos, my short videos for this, and I'm totally making a face when I'm using one of the curlers, and you're going to think, oh, it hurts. No, I'm just making a stupid face, just like how people make faces when they're putting on mascara and things like that, like your makeup face. That's what it is. But we have seen the glitter mascara many times over that format. So the skinny wand, the gel, they are designed together to distribute the product onto your lashes and your brows. The product is not really intended to give you length or volume, definition. It's not that kind of mascara. And this is kind of like tricky to say, but what I noticed with this round of glitter mascaras is it seems like they have more color. Maybe the glitter's more chunky, I don't know. But somehow it's like even harder to see on the lashes. Like you really have to look up close. And I always layer these over my mascara. And for whatever reason, these ones were clumping my mascara coated eyelashes together. And that pretty much never happens when I use the glitter mascaras. Like, yes, I put it on, my mascara is dry. It doesn't seem to matter if it was dry or wet. It was just really clumping the lashes together. So I don't know what they changed here because nothing else about it seemed changed. But that's why I rated them a 3 out of 5. And I have to be honest, I never reach for these things again. Like, they're fun, don't get me wrong, but I really can't think of anybody that I've seen that is using glitter mascara on a mainstream daily basis. So they just kind of pile up in my mascara drawer until one day they dry out or they're just fully discontinued and I toss them. What can I say? But I'll read the claims here. The eyelash curler should lift and prep your lashes. The mascara should add a soft, fluttery look with bold sparkle. No, there is no soft and fluttery happening. So in reality, it's more like 5 stars for the curler and 3 for the mascara, but I didn't do separate star ratings. Now we have the cream blush, and this is the first time they've come out with a cream blush in this format, in swirl. Really cool. And what happens is the colors blend together when you go to apply them, and you'll get the most pretty lavender and pink hues. And when they say cream to powder, it really is. That is what it feels like on the skin. It dries down, fully sets, and the formula is very buildable and blendable. So again, I had said this in the past, it seems like this year, whenever I'm buying blush, especially cream and liquid, you'll put on the smallest dot, and it's so much powerful pigment right off the bat. You kind of overdo it when you don't mean to. Wet n Wild, on the other hand, has really been giving you that control and buildable formula in a good way. That's what I think we need. It's okay. I do blush blindness too. I'm loving it. I would rather just build to that than just go, oh my gosh, immediately, what am I going to do? And it does have shimmer in it. You can see that in the swirl, but it's not overdone by any means. The formula is so lightweight and it didn't remove any coverage underneath. But here's what crushes my soul. Bite Me, the purple. It fades almost completely. I kind of feel like that's a thing with purple, but by the end of the day, it basically looked like I didn't put any blush on, and I'm very sad about that because of the color. I love a good purple blush, and this shade is very unique. I don't own a lot of purple blushes. I have a few, but based on what I've seen, I said this one is somewhere between becoming more common on the market, because they are, but also still hard to obtain. Probably not going to see this exact color somewhere else. So what you can do, and this goes for anything that you want to lock down, is set it with a translucent powder. And I did this. I reused this blush, and I set it with the purple setting powder, Moody Cutie. It worked just fine, but just bear in mind that the setting powders in this collection are to brighten, and it is going to lighten that color and change it. And I expected that. That was fine. And Cherry Bliss is the pink. That one wears much better. I think it faded a little bit. Most blushes do. By the end of the day, I mean, I saw it. It looked fine. I don't feel the need to put powder over it, so it's much better. But, you know, the shade isn't as unique as the bright lavender. But the claims for this: the cream blush contains light reflecting pearls. It should have a lightweight cream to satin texture to be blendable. I was kind of mean on this one, and I rated it 3 stars. I mean, I like it. I'll use it again, but Wet n Wild usually doesn't make a product that fades. So I know purple eyeshadow is hard to manufacture. Maybe it's just a thing with all purple, that causes these issues. I don't know. But here we are, we're at the powder that we were just talking about, the luminous setting powder. So this formula is definitely Wet n Wild Signature Loose Powder. It's one of the best. It's one of my favorites. It's going to fully set your makeup. It'll leave your skin soft, slightly blurred. And it's so lightweight. Honestly, it's very hard to mess it up and make it look heavy or cakey. Now, they have tried luminous setting powder before. They gave us one in the Marilyn Monroe collection. But the sparkle in these is less noticeable. But don't get me wrong, it's there. It's a more fine shimmer in a good way. I like that. I almost exclusively wear powder on my under eyes and nowhere else. And that's just how I choose to deal with fine lines and settling, and I find that really works for me and looks nice. I very rarely do a powder the whole face and use powder makeup products anymore, but I can. I'm getting more into targeted powdering, so I really don't like powder over fine lines. Maybe that sounds counterintuitive, but it looks so much better when you don't powder them. So when I do use powder makeup, I do put the powder on strategically, so I have a nice base to blend on, but I can still look very fresh. So with that being said, I didn't fully enjoy the Marilyn Monroe powder because it just had a lot of shimmer, and that just looks weird on the under eye. Like literally, as I age, I don't want runway lights on my fine lines. You feel me? So this shimmer, it's there. You have to look very close in the mirror to see it. That is not a negative to me. These powders brighten the skin, and that's really nice for the under eye area, but it's not crazy. It's toned down enough that if you want to powder your whole face, you can, but I don't see any color correction. So I know you're probably sitting there like, okay, well, you said they brighten. Isn't that color correction? Yes, but usually people reach for pinks to cancel out brightness, my goodness, to cancel out darkness, dark spots. And you reach for purple to brighten areas of the skin that are dull to cancel out like a yellow tone. So I don't see that they're color correcting in a way that they are canceling out particular tones. They just brighten, and primarily they're brightening because I have fair skin, and these types of powders, these shades, are better for fair skin. Really, this whole collection, when it comes like these complexion products, are more so for fair skin. So it's not as inclusive as like we'd like to see, but they are trying to play off of K-beauty, and that is accurate, for better or for worse. So with that being said, I continued on here. So they did release a pink powder in the Wet n Wild Hello Kitty collection. Didn't have the shimmer, and it's more pink in color. So what I did is I did a comparison for you all in the blog post. I took out the Hello Kitty pink powder, the soft pink powder that's in the permanent line, and then I grabbed the My Melody and Kuromi powders and put them all together. And you're going to be shocked because the Hello Kitty is basically the same as the core line. I think they were just testing the waters, before they released it. Then you have Sugar Sparkle, which is the pink from this collection. When you compare it, it's almost white. It's almost like no pink in it, and it's crazy. So it is a different powder, but just keep that in mind. I love, I'll be scrolling through videos and I can tell somebody's wearing pink powder under the eye and they've connected it down to their blush, just that cohesive look on the face. I think that looks so pretty and flattering on people, and I love to do that. You're not going to get that with this powder if that's what you thought was going to happen. Just go get yourself, you can still buy the Hello Kitty powder online, but just go get yourself the translucent loose setting powder in the core line, soft pink. It's a huge jar. It'll last you forever. But the claims on this product is this powder should keep your makeup in place while giving you a soft and radiant glow. The fine formula should be blendable, blur imperfections, and absorb excess oil. Both the pink and purple should brighten and neutralize the skin. So I rated a 4 out of 5 just because, again, I wasn't seeing actual color correction of undesired tones. And I don't really have yellow tones, but I'm just saying. And I thought that the pink was very strange, just in tone. Maybe they were trying to make it different from their core line. I don't know. Going to take a coffee break here. I'm announcing that Just in case some of you thought in my last podcast the small breaks were weird, I did announce at the beginning of that one, like I did here, that I have a hot beverage, I have a coffee. So those pauses are me taking a sip so I can keep reading. So if you think these pauses are awkward, I don't know how to help you. Okay, so moving on to the next product here is the serum primer. This is their first serum primer, so I'm very curious to see if that's going to pop up in the core line in 2026. So it's swirled and it has, oh, now the proper term is escaping me. I do apologize, but I'm going to say an air pump. You're like, what? You know, when you squeeze a dispenser and it lifts up from the bottom to push the product out, but it never goes back down. So when it's done, that piece will be all the way up to the top. Somebody's going to smack me. I know there's a term for it, and I can't think of it right now. I didn't drink enough coffee yet. Okay? Bear with me. But it dispenses all of the colors mixed together, and they come out almost white, and there's a hint of purple. I just thought there'd be more there from the golden tone. So it is really lightweight, and honestly, it makes a nice base for your makeup to adhere to. There's a slight tack, nothing like a sticky primer, but it just leaves that skin feeling so smooth, so prepped. It doesn't necessarily moisturize, like you're not gonna skip your moisturizer, but your skin is gonna feel prepped. And I was really shocked by this next point because it's not in the claims, and most primers just don't hit this mark for me. It is trying to fill my large pores and smooth me over. It doesn't do it 100%, but there is something there. And you guys, speaking of moisturizer, just this morning, right before I started recording this, I put on a new moisturizer that I'm trying. So I haven't gotten into Dollar Tree skincare. I don't want to go on a whole tangent as to why. I'm just very set in my skincare. I don't want to try something that's going to break me out or, mess up my skin in any way. And I am a believer that sometimes you do have to invest some money in the skincare to get good ingredients that are going to do something. It just is what it is. But my skin, I have combo skin. And I really respond well to anything that is like a jelly water gel. And they have their own water gel. And it says it's basically a dupe for Neutrogena. Hydro water gel, whatever. I've never used that one, but I'm trying this one for $1.25. I'm sure it'll go up. It's still cheaper than what I've been using, so I use, for better or for worse, the one from Elf, and it's literally like 3 times the amount of product in the jar. It has hyaluronic acid. It's unfortunately one of the last, if not the last ingredient, whatever, but I haven't had it on that long. I'm feeling my face right now. It feels pretty good. So I'm always just waiting to see, does it make me oily? So if my skin feels hydrated to the touch all day long, but I do not get oily, that means it's working for me. And the only other test would be to layer it with makeup and just make sure that it's not peeling or peeling. I hope it doesn't peel either, but crumble or be patchy. Because if not, I can just go use that stuff. And I guess if it doesn't break me out or anything crazy, but it always happens with Dollar Tree stuff. If you end up loving it, it'll be like that one time they got it and they'll never make it again, yet they have other products in this line and they're keeping it. This is going to be so long. I ever wonder if people pull up the recording and go, how does the blog post look like this? And it says she talked for an hour. Because I got to tell you this stuff. I got to tell you what's going on. Trying some Dollar Tree skincare. But anyway here. Where did we leave off? So, as I was saying for the serum primer, actually I wasn't saying that. I was saying the same point about the powder in my brain. My brain is stuck. So when it comes to this serum primer, there's no color correction and there's no brightening, and I was really expecting a glow. If you look in the serum, again, there's that goldish color, and it looks like it sparkles. Literally, my skin looked the same after I put it on as it did before with just my skincare. There was no change in appearance. Makeup applies normally over top. I really tested this. When I get a setting spray, a primer, something like that in a collection like this, I don't just use it once. I use it. I have a way that I test, and I test it with my, is cut rate the right word? I don't pull out my 10 out of 10 rated foundations. I pull out the ones that I rate more like a 7 or 8 that I know that I've worn 100,000 times, and I see how this primer wears. I posted on YouTube Short a while ago. I did a rating my foundations 1 out of 10, so I'm talking about those. So it's not extending wear time, and I'm sad. But it doesn't make me shiny or oily on my combo skin. This one's really good for that. So, I mean, I rated it a 4 out of 5, and if it would extend wear time, be a long wear, I would give it a 5. But here's the claims. It should give you long-lasting makeup. The formula should be lightweight, also color correct, prime, and brighten. It should give you a glow that you can wear on its own or under makeup. Yes, it's lightweight. No, it didn't change makeup wear. It didn't color correct. It didn't brighten. But it did prime. It primes very well. And now the lip gloss. I bought a sequin purse a couple weeks ago, and it's the exact kind of purse I would have wanted when I was a kid with that adult money, you know. And this lip gloss just hits me at the right time because it's like 2000s vibes, like those swirled lip glosses in a pot that we all had, you know. So this formula is a little bit thicker. I know people have been wanting that. I've been seeing comments about, I just want a lip gloss that hangs on the lips. Like, thick was okay. Why aren't they thick anymore? But it's, you know, you still have to reapply it as needed. It's not heavy. It's still not sticky. So those are all good points here. Let's see. I'm getting a bunch of texts and I'm getting distracted. So they will give your lips a very faint hint of pink or purple, but in a nice way, and they're glitter, full-on glitter. I'm really confused in the claims. They say that it's strawberry. They taste the same as the rest of the collection, which was supposed to just be berry. And yes, there's a difference between berry and strawberry. And I gave a picture of this, but I discovered the top part of the cap where the keychain attaches, it can be removed. You can just twist it off and pop it back on. I don't know why. I don't see a benefit, but Well doesn't say anything about it, but there you have it. The applicator is the perfect size, and I also like that they made the clip on the keychain a little bit bigger, so if you want to take it off and put it somewhere else, it's more versatile. They don't dry out your lips, and then after removal, your lips do feel normal, but they don't feel any certain sort of way. So the claims, these lip glosses should give you a multi-dimensional shimmer and a hint of color. They should not be sticky and feature a strawberry flavor, and they should keep your lips soft and smooth. So yeah, I rated them a 5 out of 5. Okay, so I'm getting all these texts, and they are saying that they expect to have the power back on by 11. So I don't know why they thought that it would take 6 hours, and they're telling me it's basically going to take 2. You really can't trust any of this. But it says scheduled maintenance. Okay, whoop-de-fizz. I just know you all wanted to know that. This is real life, people. You know, I, just like everyone else, I'm more than just like a beauty influencer. You know, I cook and clean and do all the things. And now we're moving on to 3-piece multi-sticks. I finally get to rant and rave live about Wet n Wild's multi-sticks formula. So get ready for this. I have never been a fan of the multi-stick line. Okay? The reason is they are basically telling you can use them anywhere on the face. I've tried them on the lips. I don't enjoy how they feel. They're not a dedicated lip color. They don't have any special like lasting power in that way. If you put them on the eyes as like a cream eyeshadow stick, they crease. So you're looking at all the colors they've come out with over the years. I have every color. I have like a mountain of these things. Then you're like, well, where else am I going to use these things? And I have a big tip, right? I don't get it. So they keep coming out with these in limited edition collections. Even 1 year in the core line, they add more shades. Like I said, I have a mountain of these things. I don't get why they shove them down our throats. And they're just terrible. Wet n Wild does very little wrong. And these are terrible. And one day for amusement, I went on their site and I was looking at the ones in the core line, and I was reading the reviews, and they are so all over the place. Basically, people are like, yeah, like, I really like these, or these are terrible, and I find that interesting. I just don't know how you like them. So when it came to this collection, I'm like, I'm really gonna try. I think I ought to take one out one day and just try them again as eyeshadow and see if my opinion changes, and just accept the fact that I might look crazy that day. But I'm looking at the colors we got in this collection, and I'm like, what can I do with them to see if I can sway my opinion? So I used the purple as an eyeliner. I just took a brow brush, and it stayed in place all day. So works really well for that. Now that color, I mean, it was the darkest color we got in this collection and still wasn't that impactful, but it worked. And the lighter shades, well, we get three shades. The other two are lighter. They work really good for like highlighter on the face, or if you want to highlight like key points of the eye, the brow bone, the inner corner, that works. So those are all really good uses for the multi-stick formula. But you can't do that with all of the shades they ever released. Are you going to take a black? And I just jumped a mile because the power came back on. I don't even know. Again, why have they estimated that it was going to be out for 6 hours and they might need another day, and it's only been out for less than an hour? I'm not complaining. I just think it's weird. But yeah, you're not going to take a black multi-stick and, you know, put it on as highlighter. So I put these in the category of I don't get it. But I did also put one of these along my lower lash line and kind of smudge it out a little bit, just like I would with like a cream eyeshadow stick. It settled into my fine lines horribly, and I always powder my under eye, and that never happens to me with eyeshadow, eyeliner, cream eyeshadow, anything. These just move. They just do stuff. They're not it for me. So I'm sorry if you like these. Tell me what you do with them. I just don't get it. But the claims are these sticks feature a velvety cream to powder formula that applies seamlessly to your eyes, cheeks, and lips. I rated them a 3 out of 5. Here I was being nice. So sometimes I'm mean, sometimes I'm nice with it. I'm going to move on to the cushion sponge set. So we actually first got this set in the 2025 core line that I still have to write about. And they made a little change. So the small sponge is the same as the core line. The large sponge in the set, they changed the shape a bit. In the middle sponge, they completely changed the shape to a triangle. And I love that. That triangle is the perfect size to do your whole face. When I used the middle shade from the core line, the shape of it just really wasn't conducive to patting makeup out because it just kept leaving lines, and I'd have to go back and reblend and make more lines somewhere else. It's like a funny rounded shape. So the triangle works really well. And the small one is still going to be the best for detailed work, like around the eyes. It's just easier to get like in the inner corner of the eye with that, which is fine. Now they don't tell you this in the claims or directions for this sponge set, but you are supposed to use these wet. They're super bouncy. You get an elastic band to slip your fingers through. I find that they're no different than using a regular sponge or Wet n Wild sponge. Like, they expand when they're wet. They give you a skin-like blend, all the things. And so far, I washed them like how I wash all my sponges with a bar of soap. I've been able to get all the makeup out with no staining. I wonder how long that will last. But I don't think they're life-changing. They do remind you of like a sponge you would get like in a K-Beauty cushion compact, and I get that's why they brought them back here, but they're thicker. If you've ever used a cushion foundation, these are very thick and bouncy, but they're not going to change your life. You can keep going with the sponges you already have. The claims, these sponges have an innovative airy cushion material with microporous outer layer. They should give you a seamless blend with a streak-free, airbrushed finish, and they should give you better product adhesion at minimal waste. For the life of me, I don't know how a sponge is going to give you better product adhesion and how a claim like that can be made. And in fact, sometimes damp sponges, whether you want to accept this or not, actually can mess with how your makeup lays and can kind of change that formula. I think when we apply makeup with a brush, we really kind of see it in its true form. And I also think a lot of adhesion comes to your base. So that was kind of a big claim to me. Now, I rated these 4 out of 5. And I'm sitting here like, I'm not really sure why. Maybe because they just didn't change life. And that was a big claim. But I'm going to move on to lip liner lipstick, which is also from this line, a new product for the brand. So it's very unique. The tip allows you to line and fill perfectly. So it's combining 2 products into one. You always have a matching liner for your lipstick. And the formula is very creamy and full coverage in one swipe. They're matte. Now, they dry out your lips just slightly. But I'm going to say they don't make me mad. You know, it wasn't that bad, and I will still reach for them. Give me just a moment here. Okay, I am back after a short pause there because everybody wants to know what's going on with the Power. I'm talking about lip liner lipstick, and they do last pretty good all day too. There's very minimal transfer. If anything does fade off, it's pretty graceful. So do reapply if you need to. I do hope that they bring us more colors in the permanent core line and fix the dryness issue. But again, it wasn't bad at all. It doesn't make me mad. It's very slight. So for the claims, this is a 2-in-1 lip liner lipstick. The tip fills, defines, and contours. The formula should be creamy and lightweight to glide on effortlessly, and it will leave your lips soft and smooth. So I rated them a 4 out of 5. I do want to note when you're looking at the pictures, I lined my lips so terribly on the day that I was using Twist and Tricks. Just botched the shape of my lips because I was in a hurry putting that on. That's on me. That wasn't on the product. And the makeup bags. So we first saw this makeup bag design with the Wet n Wild Nightmare Before Christmas collection. It's one of my favorite makeup bag designs I've ever come out with, like the construction. I took it on vacation with me this year, and it was just the perfect size and shape to hold all of my products and my brushes to do a full face for a few days. But it enabled me also to not go overboard because I'm one of those people that will pack more makeup than I actually need because I just feel like insecure or worried that I'm going to need something, and I didn't want to do that this year, so it really forced me to bring just what I need and not 10 brow products, okay? So you don't need to buy both of the bags. They are exactly the same. They just did one in pink and one in purple. The material feels durable, easy to clean. I love the inner mesh compartment. That's where I put my brushes, and the bag has a handle and charms on the zipper pulls. And as always, I test to see if they will hold the full collection, and they do. So I gave these a 5 out of 5. And the claims are these bags are designed to hold all of your favorites and keep them organized and accessible. And they are made with durable materials and include a mesh zip pocket for smaller items. Okay, and then moving on to the makeup brushes. I love Wet n Wild's makeup brushes. They gave us 2 5-piece sets here, and I was doubly excited to see that the brush sets themselves were different from each other. I was afraid the makeup bag, they were just gonna release the same brushes twice and just make them pink or purple. And most of these I've not seen before. I collect, as you know, over the years, everything. There's very few repeats from over the years. So their brushes are so high quality. I'm telling you, I have a eyelid brush that I've used literally a million times. The paint is coming off the fair rule, and this thing doesn't shed. It's a little bit stained, but not too bad. It is still brand new. Otherwise, it is crazy. Okay, and these ones feel sturdy, so you'll never go wrong with their brushes. If you are in the market for some new brushes, you pick these up. And I like the charms that they put on them. They're a little bit annoying in terms of where I put my hand when I'm holding the tool, but they're silicone and you can slide them off and literally wear them as rings if you want. So like I was saying, some of these brushes are repeats while others are new. I was trying to compare my massive collection, and I can tell you we have seen the domed powder brush, crease brush, and highlighter before. And with that being said, I was fairly certain the other ones were new to some extent, like especially the pencil brush is new. And I also wanted to say they came out with this one here. It's called a rounded cheek brush. And I've been using that for foundation, concealer, full face of cream, liquids, and it works. So if you've been here, you know they came out with a round brush, both in Hello Kitty and SpongeBob. That is like my ride or die foundation brush. And this one has more give. It's a different shape, but it still works. And it most reminds me of, I don't own this brush, but the double-ended $50 Patrick Ta brush that everybody uses for their foundation and their cream. And then there's dupes of that. So if you have the e.l.f. lip cheek stain brush, which I do have, and I know there's other dupes on the market. BK Beauty comes to mind, but there's like so many of them. I believe this is basically along those same lines. Oh, I mean, I have the Dollar Tree and the e.l.f. brush. So yes, it's along those same lines. It's slightly smaller. I know the Patrick Ta one has it's double-sided, so there's two sizes on it. So I'd imagine this one is more in relation to the smaller brush. Also, I have Dollar Tree's version, which is a great dupe as well. So you want bargain basement and you want that e.l.f. or Patrick Ta brush, oh my gosh, brush, get the Dollar Tree one. It's crazy. But anyway, love these brushes. And then I outlined in the blog post the names of the brushes that you get. I gave these 5 out of 5 stars. They have ultra soft bristles, durable handles, and they should make blending, defining, and buffing easy, as Wet n Wild says. So ultimately, you get an angled powder brush, domed powder brush, highlighter brush, shader brush, pencil brush, pointed powder brush, rounded powder brush, rounded cheek brush, angled shader brush, and crease blending brush. You never have to use brushes for what they say, like based on their names. You can do whatever you want with them. Just keep that in mind. We also have 2 hand mirrors. So they always give us mirrors like this. I never quite understand them. Like, I'm not going to throw a non-compact mirror in my purse and act like it's not going to get scratched or damaged by something. But they do look cute on display, which is what I use them for, on your vanity. If you're just going to be sitting in your house and you're going to hold it up and like do a little touch up. I have to just say, like, these are so pleasing and satisfying for how thick like the plastic is. It has like a puffy design and they're full of glitter. I just like how they feel in the hand. But I rated them a 5 out of 5. The claims are these mirrors are lightweight and portable for on-the-go touch-ups, and they should fit well in your hand. I mean, did they fit well? Yeah, I don't know. I just like the feeling of holding them. That is what I'm saying. If you know, you know. Moving on to the face quads, I am a bit confused by them, and that's because of the claims, so I'll read them now. These shades allow you to glow and flush as they double as a highlighter and blush. They should blend to a radiant, soft focus finish. These are full out colored highlighters, and I don't foresee how you're going to wear them as blush. It's not a blush lighter situation like a super shimmery blush. It's not like that. They have a lot of sparkle, and it's not an overspray, and they also have a lot of pigment, and you'll see in one of my short videos, I go in with the lighter purple highlighter, and it was so much, it was just a glowing streak of purple on my cheek. I should have tapped the excess off, and they are frosty in tone, but you know, I mean, I guess that's how they are supposed to be. I do find that the powders are soft and beaming, and I layered it over cream. I was risky, and I did that. They were fine. I think they'd be fun on the eye, too. So I rated them a 4 out of 5. I'm a little bit confused by saying that it's a blush, and it is very easy to give yourself a streak on the cheek of that color. Let me tell you about the eyeliners and talk about the situation with the mystery product. So in terms of formula, I do think they are breakup proof. The Great Line, they're just not telling you that. So we have the pencil, Angelic. It's not a full coverage white. It was actually more of a sparkly, pearly, semi-sheer. It's creamy. It doesn't tug. I wore that crap for like 12 hours on my waterline because that's just sometimes how long I wear my makeup, and it looked great. It held up. And then the liquid liner, Lovely, is pink, and it's full coverage, dries matte, very easy to apply, lasts all day with no issues, didn't skip, didn't tug. So they're all great. And then I went on Amazon looking for the new products, and I saw they have a set on there that doesn't exist anywhere else. So I guess they were trying to do the pink versus purple, but it's very odd that Wet n Wild would have an odd number of SKUs in a collection. I just used the word odd twice. There'd be 31 items. So they're showing a set called Twisted Cutie that should be a purple liquid liner and a black gel eyeliner. And it came out as temporarily out of stock. So I'm wondering if it actually exists. Is it going to be like the pink highlighter from Chameleon Chrome that never made it to production, but the image got put into the Amazon product feed? Is it going to be more like what we're seeing with the Fantasy Makers False Nails and the Villains lip balms, where they exist, they just sent them to random places and basically you can't have them? I don't know what to expect anymore. It is what it is. You know, if I can get it, I'll get it and I'll swatch it and do the thing. But I did rate these so far 5 out of 5. And the claims are this liquid eyeliner should glide on with precise, crisp lines, and the gel liner should give you bold color that lasts. So there you have it. And we also have Glossy Lip Balm. And they do have a formula like that in their core line, but this is different. And I don't know if you'll hear the noise outside, but there's still stuff with bucket trucks, despite the fact that the power is back on. I don't know if it's going to go out again. I don't know what the plan is, but we're here, and I'm sure that I will squeal every time it goes off and on for your listening pleasure. But these glossy lip balms have more pigment than you might expect them to. It's really like a high medium coverage with lots of shine, and they're not meant to be long wearing at all. You'll have to reapply them as needed. They don't dry out my lips, but they don't leave them feeling any sort of way. Somehow the berry taste in these is different than the other products in this line. Made Sweet tastes really different, and I didn't enjoy how it tasted. But I don't know how to describe it. It's just very hard to describe. Skull Crush tastes better. These, like, you twist them up and they have a shape in the center, like in the core. That's really fun. Let me see. It was a skull and a bow. But they kind of like have like clear, translucent lip balm around them. They're just really neat. So I rated them a 4 out of 5, just thinking about the taste. I guess Made Sweet almost tasted like an old lipstick. Does that sound bad? I just didn't like it. With these balms, these are the claims, by the way, wrap a conditioning outer layer. Like I said, I don't edit these. I just talk real life, real time. Layer around a fun-shaped core to give buildable color and shine. The formula should melt in and glide on effortlessly for lips that are soft and smooth. I mean, they didn't make my lips crazy soft and smooth. We do have 2 eye and face palettes, and the layout of the palettes themselves are new for Wet n Wild, and it feels very modern. I love it. So I've been told these colors are what's on par with K-Beauty and is popular right now. This is definitely their signature eyeshadow formula. It is soft, it is blendable, it's buildable. You can very easily build it up and get that color impact if you want it. I found everything to be true to color, consistent, even the purples. Nothing was patchy. You get mattes, shimmers, and satins. And you'll see, especially in the videos, that dust is flying around when I'm putting on the mattes. They don't have shade names, or just numbered 1 through 10 on the back. And what I found really interesting is Wet n Wild always does the eye and face thing, and they mark which ones are eye approved. These are eyeshadow palettes, and basically none of the shades are approved for the eye. Grunge Glam only has 3 eye safe shades. Say that 3 times fast. Eye safe shades. Well, see, now it just has me all messed up and I can't read anything. Just send me out. Cozy Cuteness has 1 shade that is safe for the eye. And I have been asked this in my comments in terms of, is it okay to use this stuff on the eyes? I do. I always have. Nothing bad has happened to me, but don't sue me, and you should follow instructions. I'm not responsible for what happens to your eye. I do know that this is more of a law where, especially in other countries, why they make you stipulate these things on the package is not that it's unsafe for the eye, that something bad is going to happen. It's more so a warning that those pigments could temporarily stain the eye area. I can't, off the top of my head, think of many times Wet n Wild stuff stain my eyes. I always wear a primer because I'm 30, I have some fine lines and stuff, and like I have to wear eyeshadow primer or it'll be a disaster, okay? But I'm not much of a purple person. I just don't gravitate towards that color. I just want to say how well done Grunge Glam is. We all know that purple is hard to manufacture, and they just killed it. And I actually reused this palette again. It was so much fun, and did a bonus extra eye look that I put in the blog post here. So I rated these 4 out of 5, again, just for like the powder flying around and all of that. I just love that the bucket truck is like idling outside of my house while I'm doing this. I believe this microphone is very noise canceling, but it, you know, you can't win. And the claims are these palettes each have 10 hyperpigmented pigments that should be soft and blend seamlessly. There's a mix of mattes, shimmers, and satins that can be built. And I give you the instructions for the eyeshadow look like I always do. But I'm going to move on to the lip masks. So Wet n Wild had a potted lip mask for years. It was okay. Nothing to get too worked up about. I didn't realize how they could have been better until they changed the formula for Hello Kitty. And that formula, like I said, is like a solid version of their lip oil. So it was so good, I bought a backup, and you basically never need to buy makeup backups. You don't realize how long makeup takes you to get through. So by the time I was finishing Hello Kitty, SpongeBob came out, and that lip mask formula is also it. They made it like a jelly, and it burned the lips. My lips have built a tolerance to it. It's still the same great formula, just in jelly format, and it's thick, and it's still on your lips when you get up in the morning, and my cellar water doesn't even want to wash it off. It's like magic. So I have an extra Hello Kitty, and here we are with 2 lip masks from this collection. It's that same great formula I swear by. So thick in a good way, and it really melts onto the lips, and it's very shiny. So these are my before bed lip masks to get you soft and smooth where you virtually never need to exfoliate anymore. So again, I think this is like the lip mask format of their lip oils. But if you want to wear them during the day for some shine, a little lip care, I mean, you do it. It works for that. So 5 out of 5 for these. And as for the claims, this lip mask should contain lip-loving ingredients that melt onto the lips to give them a pillowy, soft, and smooth feeling. Wear them at night for deep conditioning or as a prep for your favorite lip color. So I'm excited now. I'm talking louder. But we've made it to the end, so I'll take you through the summary. Wet n Wild's My Melody Kuromi collection is a nostalgic round 2 collaboration featuring 30, maybe 31. I ought to check right now if the power's back on. Check to see if those are up yet. Limited edition makeup items. The theme blends soft pinks and purples with edgy accents, reflecting both My Melody's sweetness and Kuromi's punk style. The products include blushes, face quads, eye and face palettes, lip glosses, brushes, and accessories like makeup bags and mirrors. Compared to the smaller original release, this version feels more complete and collectible, catering to both casual fans and makeup lovers. The collection is available at Walmart, though limited edition status means it may sell out quickly. And I did 2 makeup looks. I know you saw it coming. I did one for My Melody and one for Kuromi, a pink versus purple. And I do link you to all the products that I use, and I give you instructions for the eye look for both of those. Just scrolling here. So the whole entire collection gets rated like 4.2 out of 5 stars based on my star ratings. And I'll take you through the pros and cons as well. So pros, wide selection of trendy fall-inspired shades across multiple product categories. I do feel like you wear a lot more purple in the fall, and then whenever, like I've been wearing these products over the week, people at work think I'm doing like Halloween fall-related stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm just doing regular stuff, so I get it. that's how people see it. High quality formulations with smooth application and long wear, affordable price points suitable for casual and frequent use, unique textures and finishes that stand out from standard releases, and seasonal exclusives that add excitement for collectors and enthusiasts. The cons are some shades may be too bold for everyday wear, limited stock can make certain items hard to find, packaging may not feel distinct from previous releases, shade range may not fully accommodate all skin tones, and certain formulas could be tricky to work with for a beginner. I do include some Reddit reviews and some frequently asked questions as well, and then I give you a summary of the star ratings. And then we have our conclusion. Not only is this limited edition collection incredibly cute with fully wearable shades, but the formulas and hues bring us a taste of K-beauty. So tell me, what did you get from this collection? And until next time, continue to let your true beauty shine. So that's it. That is the whole collection. I am tired out. I sincerely hope that they don't give us any other collections, but something probably will happen for Christmas, and I'm just lying to myself, and the lights just flickered. Yay, I love that. But that was a lot. They don't usually do 3 together. I've seen them do 2 together, but I need a break. The eyeliners are still temporarily out of stock. I mean, out of the selection they put on Amazon, as I'm looking at this right now, nearly all of it dropped as temporarily out of stock. So I just don't get what they be doing with themselves. I don't know, but yeah, I need a break from testing all of this makeup and want to get back to other things. I do want to move on to 2025 core line releases. What you guys don't know is literally I tested it all and I actually made notes in terms of my review. I did all of the photos, all of the swatches, all of the videos, and I even planned out the full content. So I literally just have to sit down and edit the videos and write the thing. So it's not like starting from scratch. Like with these collections, you got to sit down and figure it out and open the packaging. Like, been there, done that, been using this crap all year so I can write really good reviews. I just kind of fizzled out. Like, I did all of that and said, what is other content I want to do right now? I did some elf content, and then I just got caught up in other things in life and just stopped blogging and just never did this. So now that I'm in the groove, I got the Wet n Wild makeup on the brain. I got to come back and I got to do that for you all. So I hope that will be next. I honestly have so much, like I have several blog posts that like I literally did like videos and photos for, and I'm like ready to do and just couldn't get to it because not only was I busy, but I just have different interests in life that I've been into, and I've also really been into social media. So I don't want to go on and on about that, but thank you for listening. I hope you are enjoying this collection, and let me know what you've been trying and playing with and what you think, and I'll catch up with you on Reddit as well or in the comments. But I will see you again next time, and I hope that is very soon. And I also hope that I'll be finally getting to more Substack exclusive content. I have so much stuff lined up for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I will see you then.